Good evening, I'm Mark Ivy. Welcome to the latest edition of Kernels from the Cornfield. No huts, no holes, no shucks. News with a dash of commentary to spice up your fare for Friday, May 30th, 2014. Shinseki surrenders. Retired general, decorated Vietnam War veteran, wounded warrior and Veterans Affairs Secretary Eric Shinseki fell on his own sword earlier today, submitting his resignation to President Barack Obama in a meeting at the White House, in light of revelations of deep systemic concerns, some with fatal outcomes in the Veterans Affairs medical system. Read my full reaction to Shinseki's surprise move. Decorated career comes to ignoble end at FromTheCornfield.com. The road ahead to change the bureaucratic mindset will not be easy. Criminal charges may yet be filed in this sad chapter in American history. Foreign policy? Read my thoughts about President Barack Obama's speech at West Point Military Academy commencement on Wednesday at FromTheCornfield.com. Dud. Foreign policy speech lands with a thud. Taking from Peter to pay Paul. Check out my article on an intended consequence of the Affordable Care Act hitting seniors and those on disability this Sunday. You can read all about it at FromTheCornfield.com. California carnage. Since a tragic mass shooting in California by a lone man wielding knives, guns, and his vehicle to wreak death and mayhem on unsuspecting victims, discussion is turned to mental health and mental illness. Read Cast Away Stigma of Mental Illness at FromTheCornfield.com with my take on mental illness and mass violence. Sold! Maybe. Maybe not. Apparently Shelley Sterling has accepted a high bid of $2 billion to sell the Los Angeles Clippers to former MSN CEO Steve Ballmer. But then again, she may not have the ability to close the deal. This in spite of a report that two doctors have determined her husband, Donald, is mentally incompetent. Mr. Sterling is fighting back according to his attorney and is in the process of suing the NBA for $1 billion. A billion here, a billion there. Soon you are talking real money. Just when I thought this nauseating soap opera was lowering the curtain, there's a new plot twist and more episodes have been ordered by the news networks. Give me a break. American-born, bred, suicide bomber. Word coming out from across the world that an American from Florida, who joined dozens of other Americans in Syria to fight against Bashar al-Assad, has become the first suicide bomber from the U.S. of A. These Americans are reportedly being trained in terrorist activities by Al-Qaeda. The fear is what our disillusioned young men and women may do back home once they leave Syria. These are typical American kids who, for some reason, are becoming brothers in arms with a group that wants only to see the death of our nation. We must ask why. Jay jumped ship. Conservatives and some moderates were clapping for joy today when White House Press Secretary Jay Carney announced that he was stepping down. He will be replaced by Josh Earnest. Many on the right side of the aisle have found Carney to be walking a line of dishonesty versus less than truthful over the past 5 years. Carney has been the public face of the White House, facing the press corps each day. I wish him well, but I also am not saddened to see him go. That's what caught my attention for Friday, May 30th, 2014. Tune in Monday for another episode of Kernels from the Cornfield. I am Mark Ivy. Good evening.